Welcome. What in Antarctica? Why Antarctica is getting hotter. Antarctica is Earth's southernmost continent. It contains the geographic South Pole and is situated in the Antarctic region of the southern hemisphere, almost entirely south of the Antarctic Circle, and is surrounded by the Southern Ocean. At 14,200,000 square kilometers, it is the fifth largest continent and nearly twice the size of Australia. At 0.00008 people per square kilometer, it is by far the least densely populated continent. About 98% of Antarctica is covered by ice that averages 1.9 kilometers in thickness, which extends to all but the northernmost reaches of the Antarctic Peninsula. Warming trend from 1957 to 2006. The effects of global warming in Antarctica may include rising temperatures and increasing snowmelt and ice loss. A summary study in 2018 incorporating calculations and data from many other studies estimated that total ice loss was 43 gigatons per year on average during the period from 1992 to 2002 but has accelerated to an average of 220 gigatons per year during the 5 years from 2012 to 2017. The above map shows the subglacial topography of Antarctica. As indicated by the scale on left-hand side, blue represents portion of Antarctica lying below sea level. The other colors indicate Antarctic bedrock lying above sea level. Each color represents an interval of 760 m in elevation. Map is not corrected for sea level rise or isostatic rebound, which would occur if the Antarctic ice sheet completely melted to expose the bedrock surface. Antarctica, on average, is the coldest, driest, and windiest continent, and has the highest average elevation of all the continents. Most of Antarctica is a polar desert, with annual precipitation of 200 millimeters along the coast and far less inland. There has been no rain there for almost 2 million years. Yet 80% of the world's freshwater reserves are stored there. The temperature in Antarctica has reached 89.2 degrees C, though the average for the third quarter is 63 degrees C. Anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 people reside throughout the year at research stations scattered across the continent. Organisms native to Antarctica include many types of algae, bacteria, fungi, plants, protista, and certain animals, such as mites, nematodes, penguins, seals, and tardigrades. Vegetation, where it occurs, is tundra. Antarctica is the coldest of Earth's continents. Effects. The continent-wide average surface temperature trend of Antarctica is positive and significant at 0.05 degrees C/decade since 1957. The West Antarctic ice sheet has warmed by more than 0.1 degrees C/decade in the last 50 years, with most of the warming occurring in winter and spring. This is somewhat offset by cooling in East Antarctica during the fall. This effect is restricted to the 1980 and 1990. Research published in 2009 found that overall the continent had become warmer since the 1950s, a finding consistent with the influence of man-made climate change. We can't pin it down, but it certainly is consistent with the influence of greenhouse gases from fossil fuels, said NASA scientist Drew Shindell, another study co-author. Some of the effects also could be natural variability, he said. The snow surface at Dome Sea Station is typical of most of the continent's surface. Some of Antarctica has been warming up, particularly strong warming has been noted on the Antarctic Peninsula. A study by Eric Steeg published in 2009 noted for the first time that the continent-wide average surface temperature trend of Antarctica is slightly positive at 0.05 degrees C per decade from 1957 to 2006. This study also noted that West Antarctica has warmed by more than 0.1 degrees Celsius per decade in the last 50 years, and this warming is strongest in winter and spring. This is partly offset by autumn cooling in East Antarctica. There is evidence from one study that Antarctica is warming as a result of human carbon dioxide emissions, but this remains ambiguous. The amount of surface warming in West Antarctica, while large, has not led to appreciable melting at the surface, and is not directly affecting the West Antarctic ice sheet's contribution to sea level. Instead, the recent increases in glacier outflow are believed to be due to an inflow of warm water from the deep ocean, just off the continental shelf. The net contribution to sea level from the Antarctic Peninsula is more likely to be a direct result of the much greater atmospheric warming there. Emperor penguins in Ross Sea, Antarctica. In 2002, the Antarctic Peninsula's Larsen B ice shelf collapsed. Between February 28 and March 8, 2008, about 570 square kilometers of ice from the Wilkins ice shelf on the southwest part of the peninsula collapsed, putting the remaining 15,000 square kilometers of the ice shelf at risk. The ice was being held back by a thread of ice about 6 kilometers wide prior to its collapse on April 5, 2009. According to NASA, the most widespread Antarctic surface melting of the past 30 years occurred in 2005, when an area of ice comparable in size to California briefly melted and refroze. This may have resulted from temperatures rising to as high as 5 degrees Celsius. Red fluid pours out of blood falls at Taylor Glacier. The color derives from iron oxides. A study published in Nature Geoscience in 2013 identified central West Antarctica as one of the fastest warming regions on Earth. The researchers present a complete temperature record from Antarctica's Bird Station and assert that it reveals a linear increase in annual temperature between 1958 and 2010 by 3 degrees Celsius. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.